Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamadhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Prepare something?
No.
Okay, so we saw last time Krishna saying, should know what is karma, what is vikarma, what is akarma. Okay. So up to here we have come. Then how the mumukshus before you, they led a life of a normal life, a life of karma. The normal is highly overrated. And they still got this knowledge, etc. All that we saw. Okay. Before that, the so-called varnashrama dharmas also we saw. So up to now, any questions, clarifications? Or is it all clear? Okay, I'm assuming all clear. Okay.
Am I audible, Swami?
Yeah, Srinivasan?
Yeah. I have, rather I'm having one,
shoot.
clarification.
Shoot.
See, last time you were referring to karma not having an impact on the birth.
Huh?
I mean, something like that, where it's not having an impact on the birth. I am little confused in that, because when I was going through that and when I was doing some study on that, I also read Kanchi Mahaperiva's version saying that it is karma which gives certain impact on the birth, the next birth of what you do. So I want a little. Maybe my understanding is not correct, so I am seeking.
Don't worry. You ask the question. Yeah. So the question is.
Yeah. So that's.
Yeah.
Does it have an impact?
Let me put it in very simple terms.
Yeah.
Karma is not meant for moksha. Karma is meant to get your mind ready for moksha. Karma is meant for your growth. That's why I always say life is not a spectator sport. You have to get involved. Get your hands dirty. Okay. Do things. Face your challenges. Face grey areas. Learn to handle the grey. Only then you will grow. So for that growth, karma is very necessary. That's why the whole attitude of karma yoga, prasada buddhi, ishwararpanam, etc. comes into the picture. So when Mahapariyar is talking from that standpoint. Whether there is Vaidika karma or Laukika karma. When we are talking about moksha, karma doesn't have a role to play. It's a purely cognitive thing. You have to understand what you are. You have to know what you are. Because there is no way you are going to gain the infinite other than knowledge. A finite thing is achieved through action. An infinite thing has to be recognized. Does that clarify?
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Therefore, for life, of course, you need to get involved. For maturity, you have to get involved. That's why they say whole of life is a learning lesson. Because you get involved in things, you learn. You learn different dimensions, you grow. You have to rearrange some of your belief systems. All those things have to be there. That's part of the functional world. I mean, that's the very purpose of living, to grow. What else is life meant for? Between life and death, what do you see? You are born only to die. So is that the purpose? If you are born to die, you need not be born at all. So you are born because you have to grow. Grow meaning deal with life, deal with things, deal with the challenges. The good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is. So that's earth that we are here for, to grow. And why do you need to grow? Because you need to have a mind that is mature enough to understand the truth. So there you leave karma behind. See, don't you say that in the corporates, most of your corporate executives? The skills that got you from there to here will not take you from here to there. Same way. Karma got you up to here. Yeah. What's the next step? Yeah, that you have to know yourself. So this know yourself is used in various contexts. You in a corporate, you find self-awareness programs, etc., etc. They are all your relative self. The self that you objectify, therefore not your real self. Your mind, your skills, your knowledge, your talents, your strengths, your priorities. Because knowing that helps you function better. Or you discover you're a square peg in a round hole and therefore time to move on. Not meant for you. Yeah. Whenever I've done a priority workshop for corporate executives, at least one or two of them have left after that. They go, this is not my cup of tea, it's something else. So that's fine. What's wrong in that? So that's all the relative self. The self that the Gita talks about is the I that's aware of all this. Aware of my talents, my skill, my knowledge, my ignorance, my strengths, my priorities. The I that's aware of all that. That's the I here is saw as pure consciousness, limitlessness, etc. And we'll keep seeing that again as we go on in the Gita. So that is a different I altogether. That is I. This is what I have made a self-judgment on. I have judged myself on the basis of what I am associated with. My body, my mind, my talents, my knowledge, all that is what I am associated with. I was there before all these things came up. And on basis of those association, my upbringing, people whom I am connected to, on the basis of all that, I make a self-judgment. On the basis of all that, I make a self-judgment. And that self-judgment is not me. It's just based on my functioning thing. It's not me. Yeah. So that is where the whole thing comes. So what is the I then? So the whole Gita deals with that I. Okay, so that is the whole thing. And in context with that, he had said, you should know what is karma, you should know what is vikarma. That in the discussion of dharma, etc. we have a relatively good picture. What is to be done, not done, how there are grey areas in that, how certain things are choiceless, certain things are by our choice, all that is there. So all that we saw. Okay, elaborately we see. Now in the next verse, he deals with what is akarma. Akarma is not doing. Okay, it's not a question of not doing. So let us see what he says here. Karmani akarmaya pashed akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manisheshu sayuktaha krishna karma krit. Karmani, in karma, akarmaha ya pashed, who sees akarma. Akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manisheshu. Okay, now confusing. Yep, the way it's presented, it looks confusing. Let us take the second past. Here's a person sitting down quietly. Lazy, good for nothing fellow, not doing anything. Akarma. No. It is not that he is akarma, it's just that he is not doing anything right now. There is desire. There are things he wants. His motive may be inhibited. Now, what is an inhibited motive? Anyone here who does not want $5 million within a week? Anyone here who doesn't want it? $5 million. How many of us are willing to do something about it? 5 million, 1 week may is all scam. No, nobody will do. So our motive is inhibited by certain self-judgments. Certain judgments. May be right, may be wrong. So similarly, here is a person sitting down, not doing much in life, because too tamasic, no motivation to do anything. But he takes himself as a karta bhokta. He says, Lord, what is my lot? I am a good man. Nothing is happening to me. He says that. So, not doing karma is not a karma. It's important to understand this. Because your self-judgment as a karta, as a doer, is still there. You take yourself as a karta and a bhokta. As a karta, someone who does something, and a bhokta, one who receives things from the world. The good, the bad, the ugly. क्या करने का मेरा नसीब में गाली खाने का. People are abusing me all the time. What to do? It is there, not a problem. So bhokta you are. That is why some amount of hurt and guilt is universal. If you take yourself as karta bhokta, some guilt with what you have done or not done is there. You know it, residual. And some hurt, pain is also there. You may dismiss it away, yeah, it's okay, but it is there. As long as you take yourself as karta bhokta, this corollary also will be there. That means you are a potential karta, even if you are not doing anything. All of us are potentially kartas and completely not doing anything on a Sunday afternoon after a nice meal. Nice meal you have had Sunday afternoon. Let us say you had a sadhya. Okay, a proper feast. What are you going to do on a Sunday afternoon after that? Just keel over and go to sleep. Okay. But you are a potential karta. Hey, 5 o'clock there is a cricket match. You'll keep the alarm, you'll get up at 4:30, have a cup of tea and then sit in front of the TV. Karta, bhokta, vicarious karta. Bhokta you are. So just by not doing karma doesn't mean it is akarma. The karta is still there. Kartrutvam is still there. And karmani, in karma, let's say you're doing karma, can you see yourself, the pure consciousness, as akarta, not doing anything? When did the consciousness ever do anything? Desired by your heart, your mind, emotions. Decided by your head, your thinking, your intellect. Physically, you get active, no? Motivation from desire, decision, choice of action, etc. The hands and legs, you function. And what is you, the consciousness, doing? Witnessing the whole thing. I, the consciousness, never does anything at any time. I, the doer, the ahankara, of course is doing. The ahankara is an apparent entity. Okay? Ahankara is an apparent entity, not real. Ahankara is an apparent entity. It's a conceptual self, not your real self. It's an idea of who you are. It is not based on fact. There is some water in the kitchen. There's a bottle and a glass.
And actually, we can fill it up. Can I fill it up?
Yeah, please. So, it is the ahankara is not a real entity. It's only a conceptual entity. Purely conceptual. The real is what you are. So, are you in touch with the real at all times? This is a wise person's function. Once you gain this wisdom, this is how you are. You are in touch with the fact, I do nothing, even though I am doing everything. Can you see? I am doing and not doing. Doing from the standpoint of the ahankara, the functioning self, not doing from the standpoint of the reality that I am. A great philosopher said once, this is only what I do. Inside, I am much more. You know who was a philosopher? No?
Batman.
Batman, exactly. Okay, but jokes apart, that is a fact of life. I am really speaking the limitless consciousness. Then what are you doing now? Teacher का role कर रहा हूँ. Traveling, sometimes I get these questions. Are you a guru? क्या बोलेगा? I can't say no. I can't say yes because I am guru only to the people who accept me as a teacher, no, not others. For others, I am whatever they want me to relate to, I relate like that. In Bombay, guru has other meanings, okay? The local gunda is also called guru. The local gunda is also called guru. So, all these are roles that you play. In every role that you play, can you recognize the real? Otherwise, the role is taken as the real. The role is not the real, but it is taken as the real. That's why we get caught up in different facets of life. To get involved and do something, to get so caught up and stressed out is another thing altogether. Because the real is not known. So even though we call it a real, we don't drop the role. That's why I always give examples of mama's role. No? The one of the most difficult role to drop. And our culture seems to encourage it. The mom is glorified as though she's the greatest goddess ever available. I mean, it's a great role, and no one is denying that. And they will quote also, Kuputraha bhavati, kumata na bhavati. A bad son can be there can never be a mad mother. Don't tell me that. Okay. I meet a lot of mothers and a lot of children. Yeah. That Shankara said, addressing goddess Parvati. There that statement can be used. Though I am not sure whether Muruga will contest that or not, okay. Not too sure about that. So, the issues of the roles, not my issues. For that, I need to be rooted in self-knowledge. So when he says you have to know akarma, you will never know it unless you are rooted in yourself, in the knowledge of what you are. One example given for this in many ways is to be the calm center in the storm of all activities. That's the closest example you can give. The storm of activities going on. What are you doing? Nothing. Nothing. You're fighting a battle. Yeah, really. This is how Krishna fought. This is how Bhishma fought. Okay. Very strategically, very dharmically. At the same time, no. Bhishma was free from it. Krishna was free from it. That's why they could see that. Arjuna had yet to become free. He was calm, he was centered, that's a different thing. To be calm and centered is one thing. To know what you are centered on is another thing. So you'll find in many warrior disciplines, across the globe you will find in warrior disciplines, this being able to function calm, centered. Whether you take the Vajramushti warriors in India, the samurai in Japan, to be calm, centered. But what is the thing you are centering on? What is that I that is centering on? That I, as pure consciousness, has to be discovered, learned, understood in the process of the learning, process of the teaching, that has to be discovered. This is the only akarma that is there. Otherwise, there's always some karma. Potential karta is always there. Freedom from being a karta is only when you know the truth. After that, when you're doing, you're not really doing. Who's doing? Where is your I? If your I is in the body and mind, of course you're doing. If the I is in the consciousness that I am, of course I'm not doing. That can't be an excuse to get away with what wrong things you do. Okay? That is not the thing. Character does a crime and says, I didn't do, I am the pure consciousness. So we are not punishing the pure consciousness, we are punishing only your body and mind. Lock him up. Fair enough. And if at that stage the guy can say, I am not locked up. Four walls do not a prison make, nor iron bars a cage. Why? I am the pure consciousness. Not in my mind I am free. No, I am the pure consciousness. Then he is fine. For that person, it is said, ko vidhi, ko nisheda. There are rules and regulations for that person. Because you are free. And Swamiji, when you say like that, will you do something wrong? Why should you do something wrong? Why do I do something wrong? Because I want something so much that I want it by hook or by crook. I am limitless consciousness, I am full, I am Ananda. I don't need that thing to become Ananda. So I don't want it by hook. Then why should I want it by crook? So it is natural to do the right thing. Yeah, wrong things may happen out of ignorance. He didn't file his tax returns because he thought, new budget up to 12 lakhs, you don't have to pay tax, so I didn't file tax. So a mistake like that can happen, but other than that, no wrong things will be done. Yeah, Karthik, you have a question.
So Swamiji, there are people who are able to come to the fact that they are Sakshi.
Yeah.
Without the need for Shastra or the knowledge.
Correct.
So would they also not view themselves as Akarta?
Not really. See, that state of being the Sakshi, okay? The state of being the Sakshi and functioning at the level of the Sakshi. Why do these people get there? Whether you are a samurai warrior, a Tai Chi expert, Qigong expert, or a Vajramushti warrior, all of these people, you get there to enhance your functioning. Because that is the highest level of functioning you are capable of. That means they are taking themselves as Karta. Bruce Lee's statement, I don't hit, the fist hits by itself. What he's meaning is there is a certain spontaneity of action based on his intent. Your intent is still there. That means you're still taking yourself as Karta Bhakta. So that's the height of functioning you are capable of, and I want to function at that level. Good. Many Vedanta students or teachers also may not be functioning at that level. Why? They are not refined their body and mind to that level. But they sidestepped that and gone to this pure knowledge. Therefore, I am Akarta Bhokta. So their functioning may be compromised. Functioning, not the knowledge. Because is it really necessary to go to that level of functioning? If you want to, fine. Otherwise, be a competent person. Yoga, karma, su kaushala. Be a competent person. Competency is enough. that level is functioning is good. If you are going to be in the anti-terrorism squad, if you are a commando, yeah, that's good. Like I trained myself to be able to sleep in a tree without falling, without tying yourself up. Is it necessary? Oh, we can do that. Therefore, every student of Vedanta in the ashram, we should all learn to do that. Is it necessary? Half the characters will run away. Or if I am going to say, I am going to make it mandatory in the camp to start this training. As it is, few people here and there have dropped off. Half the people have dropped off. And that, what I was doing then, I needed to do that. Now when I want to sleep in the night, I am not looking for a tree, I am looking for a bed. Go and sleep on a tree. No, that's not the function. So you function as normal human beings. I mean, whatever culturally is norm, you do that. Yeah. Without getting dependent on too many things. That's important too. That much is important for a student of Vedanta. Don't get unnecessarily dependent on everything. Have a certain sense of independence. That I can use things, I can be free from things. That's good enough.
Can I ask a related question,
Yeah.
Swamiji? Can I ask a related question?
Yeah, please. Sure.
So for for folks in martial arts and such places where they train themselves, so for them it sounds to me like the Sakshi Bhava is more experiential.
Yes.
But for a Vedanta student, is it more intellectual, like more through knowledge?
Yes, it is more understanding based.
Okay, got it.
It's not so experience based. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. That's why to make it experience based, you need a lot of physical and intellectual training rather than understanding. Some amount of understanding is necessary, but not much. Here we are going beyond being the witness. We are going beyond that to understand what is the I that is playing the role of a witness. I am the witness with respect to what is witnessed. What am I with respect to myself? That pure consciousness is what we are trying to understand. And own up as my true nature. So the whole ball game is different. There Karta Bhokta doesn't really go away. In Sakshi Bhava, it's a good meditative habit. As meditation to practice Sakshi Bhava is good. Why? Because you see yourself as independent of body and mind. Which is important. Because we are caught up too much in our body and mind. Because what is modern civilization? Converting luxuries into necessities. 25 years ago, this was a luxury. 16 rupees per minute. It was a luxury. Today, the maids who come to clean your house carry earphone. It become a necessity. Even if you look at me, there are half a dozen footwear and 2 or 3 of them have to be thrown away. Someone said they'll come and take it up, they're not taken up, so it's lying there. But there was a time when footwear was considered, I'll come to that. When we were young, footwear was considered luxury. I remember going to my village for holidays in May, school holidays. First day I reached my home, I'm kicking off my slippers and then roaming the whole village without slippers. And then the day before we are supposed to come back, you are looking, where is my slipper gone? Do I have to find out where it is gone? All these days what happened? Not necessary. We roamed all over the village with that. Yeah. So, nothing wrong with using luxuries, but we get dependent on them. So there is a problem. Then we don't know how to do without it. Then we are uncomfortable without it. Learn to be comfortable without them, so that if you have to do without them, you're okay. So, you should be able to sit down under a tree and teach, and sit down under a tree and learn. You don't need anything to learn except here, what is there inside. So if you are there, then you are fine. That's why they say titiksha. Why is the value titiksha put in for a student? Because fan stops working. What do you do? It's hot. What do you expect Bombay to be in February? Come on, okay, it's hot. Learn. Yeah, it's hot. Of course, it is hot. How can you? Heat is here, not here. Learning is here, not here. Learn to be okay, fine. Are you getting the idea? So that much we learn to be independent. That's enough. That's enough. Similarly, body. You have some pain somewhere. You have some little bit mild problems. You can still learn. Why? Because you're tough enough to say, okay, forget it. Learn. That's all you need. You don't have to be like Bhishma. Arrows piercing, he's pointing, hey, these are Shikandini's arrows, this bounce off. These are Arjuna's arrows, they pierce my body. You don't have to be like that. No wise person can be like that unless he is warrior trained. Okay? If he is warrior trained, he'll do it, not otherwise. Yeah, because that requires a certain discipline and skill of the body and mind. So Kartrutvam will be there in that person. Bhishma, it is not there, that is different. Yeah, because he had the knowledge, which people discovered only when he was lying on the bed of arrows. And they went and discussed with him in the Bhishma Parva, toward the end of the Mahabharata. But other than that, karmani akarmaya pashyet. Akarmani cha karmaya. So, all your karma and vikarma, everyone needs to do. What is to be done, not done. With shades of grey in between. Okay. Yeah. It's never black and white. What's to be done, not done, with the million shades of grey. Learn to handle this. This is maturity of life. Then understand what is akarma. Freedom from karma. Then karma, vikarma, etc. has no meaning after that. Meaning is only to deal with society. So that you don't confuse people more than necessary. As it is, they are confused about you. You will get more than necessary by doing all sorts of things. Just imagine, is a teacher like Rasputin. You know, the Russian mystic. Half of you will find it very difficult to relate to them. Other half will enjoy it. My younger crowd will enjoy it. This guy is something.